Good afternoon, everyone. This is Robert, RJL Network. Today we present to you a special edition of Inside Pitch, although it's really not it's a special edition of Inside Pitch Baseball. In this in in this special presentation, we will be doing a demonstration game. Usually do one of these before we start a new season. The 1979 season will be starting next Monday, but so we got 1 week before we go to that. And this is what I call an inside pitch baseball demonstration game. We will play a baseball game utilizing the World Series teams from 1979, the Baltimore Orioles and the Pittsburgh Pirates, who were played in that World Series. And this is a slow motion game where I'll probably be rolling the dice. You will see everything play out. Now, of course, normally you guys know I just roll and play, roll and play. Okay. This is a slow version of the game. This video is designed for people who are kind of on the fence about inside pitch, who do not know much about the game and are deciding if they want to maybe give it a try. For those of you who do have a game of inside pitch but are a little bit confused with some of the rules. Inside Pitch Baseball is made by Chris Davis from IndieSportsGames.com. This is the version 3 game that he has. He completed a completely brand new rule book last year for 2021. It is very informative. It is not perfect, but it pretty much goes through everything you need to know about how to play inside pitch. Inside pitch does come with its own baseball field, and you can utilize it with 2 different types of scoreboards. You have an away, a home. It is one of the only ball games right now that come with its own scoreboard system. So you can go ahead and play it right on here with pegs and have your own scores and such. And he has them going up to at least 20, for 20 runs, 30 runs, and so forth. And you can cut the numbers out for it. Okay. Of course, I have no problem with his setup and I like it, but of course I have my own board and special scoreboard that I use. Which, of course, I got this board from a baseball card game that was made back in the 80s, which fits these cards perfectly. And of course, we have C&D TV, Baseball, BB, and Steeler Fan joins us here at Three Rivers Stadium for our matchup tonight. Steeler Fan says, used to watch RJL 518. Well, we have upgraded to RJL Network. I didn't want to just create sports because, of course, I do other things besides sports and such. So we are now RJL Network, and I'm hoping that we will get some more exciting people to join us and watch some great baseball. And, of course, other games that we play, Marvel Champions, Arkham Horror, and some war games that I'm looking forward to doing as well. The rules for this game, this is an exhibition game. We're going to utilize the rosters that come with the games for 1979 Orioles and for 1979 Pirates. Some of the players that were on this team may not be on this team when we get to it. For instance, Bill Maglock is actually on the Cubs at the start of this year he's on the Giants at the start of this year before he winds up on the Pirates later in 79. Larry Harris joins us here as well at Three Rivers Stadium. So I went ahead and took the rosters and put together a decent lineup for both teams, utilizing the rosters that come with the game. And I chose two Hall of Fame pitchers to pitch: Jim Palmer for the Orioles and Bert Blyleven for the Pirates. As I said, this is an exhibition game. Anybody can pretty come up to bat if we want. All the rosters available, not 25-man rosters. This is just a teaching game, so I can go through each and every motion, so you guys can learn how to play the game, or decide if the game is for you. For those of you who don't know, and who don't know it, or of course for people that want to learn more about how to play it. Of course, we have our handy dandy chart right next to us. And of course, a lot of people always, every year, everyone tells me how you deal with the base running. The base running was we'll see how your Astros do in '79 there, Steeler fan. I think they're going to be pretty good, Matt. They were a good team in '79. We'll see how much. Let's see if I have to rig certain games. We are going to utilize everything here, as you can see. And a lot of people are always concerned about the base running and all of that. I would like to let you know that inside pitch is really one of the only games where everything is decided by the dice. The dice decide the results of the play. It decides base running. It decides throws, ins and outs. There are no charts. The only chart that's used in inside pitch that really resolves a play is the bunt charts. These are really the only charts in the whole game that goes ahead and resolves a play. Everything else is modifications and such for errors and range plays and strategy rolls as well. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to play a game here, utilizing everything slowly, and you will see how the games go. As they are okay, Mets are tops in '79. Mazzilli had tight pants. Well, actually, the Mets kind of stunk in 1979 there, Tony. They were not. That was not a good team in 1979. They kind of stunk. All right. Bill Simone joins us here at Three Rivers Stadium for our demonstration game. So that's what we're going to do today. I will keep, of course, a track. I do have my handy dandy notebook for the score charts, for the score sheets that I create. And no stats are being kept. This is just going to be a liar. They stunk in '79. They did. Not a good ball club. And they had, 64 wins that year? They were not a good ball club in '79. So do not expect the Mets. I really don't think you can expect the Mets to be anywhere near sniffing the playoffs this year, I think. Mets won it all. Well, we'll see what happens. You never know how FastScore will operate. And of course, so we have 1979 all set and ready to go. The fringe players for 1979, I've already gotten the fringe players all set and printed up. FastScore is of course ready, and for those of you who are wondering, just to be sure. Okay, the game engine we use for the background, FastScore 1979, is all set and ready to go. And of course, we have the rare plays chart if necessary for this demonstration game. They have Tom Seaver. No, Tom Seaver is on the Reds, as you know, in 1979. Okay, I think you're drinking something, and you probably forgot about the Midnight Massacre in '77. The worst trade in baseball history. All right, so enough about this. Thank you, everyone, for joining me in the chat. And we're going to play a little baseball. So the Baltimore Orioles will take on the Pittsburgh Pirates here at Three Rivers Stadium. We are at a National League ballpark, and the pitchers will bat, okay, if necessary. So let's all set and ready to go. Let's take a look at our starting pitcher, Bert Blyleven, for the '79 Pirates. 12 wins, 5 losses, no saves, a 3.60 ERA in '79. And he is a Hall of Famer, of course, so I thought we'd use 2 Hall of Fame pitchers. The '79 Orioles were pretty darn good, but the We Are Family Pirates beat them in the World Series, down 3-1. So let's see how things will go. So let's start with the top of the first, shall we? Leading off for the Orioles is going to be Al Bumbry. Al Bumbry will be in center field for this game. A .285 average, 7 homers, and 49 RBIs for Bumbry in '79. The Pirates are the home team. We will use yellow, white, and black dice. Yellow will be the top, the white will be the side, and black, of course, is the D20. The first thing you do, of course, all results always come off the pitcher card first, and then you move to the batter card. So our first roll for this demo game is a 3-4, and a 3-4 comes up as a wild pitch. Interesting there, a wild pitch. So then you go ahead and check the wild pitch section here for Bert Blyleven, and it's a 1-13 or a 14-17 comes up, and that is a 1. Now, the wild pitch modifier only works when there's runners on base. So since there's nobody on base, even though a wild pitch is thrown, I consider it ball one. Now, the official rules is you can have as many wild pitches in as many as you can. Me personally, if 4 wild pitches are thrown in a row, I consider it a walk. But that's not happened yet to me in any of the games. So since a wild pitch comes up with nobody on base, it is a re-roll on the pitcher card. So we'll do it again. This time it's a 6-3. And a 6-3 comes up as an error chance. So we know that the ball, there could be a possible error coming off the batter card. So we have an error chance, and now we will go to Al Bunbury for the batter card as Big Clue now joins us here. So now we roll again, a possible error for the fielders, and we now roll off the batter card. So Al Bunbury gets a 3-6, and that is a G4. A G4 is a ground ball to second base. There's a ground ball to second. Now, we know a ground ball is hit to second. We have to check the second baseman to see if an error is done. The second baseman for the Pirates is Phil Garner. Phil Garner is the second baseman, and his error rating is a 5 on his card. He has number of positions here, and an error rating is a 5. Okay, we check the D20, and I usually take the first roll of the D20, and the D20 says it's a 17. If the roll is equal to or lower, then the error rating and error has occurred. But Phil Garner, scrap iron, has an error rating of 5. That is a 17. He will not make an error. So that means it is just a ground ball to second base for the first out. Yes, I'm back in a way, just a demo game here. So I mark that as a G4 as a ground out to second, and there is one away. The next batter for the Orioles is going to be Rich Dower. He is at second base for the Orioles. 257 average, 9 homers, and 61 RBIs. So again, we go ahead and we have Bert Blyleven make a pitch. Bert Blyleven had 37 starts in 79. He can pitch to 28 batters before fatigue. He has a 13 pull rating, which I sometimes use. Okay. Oh, I'm fine. COVID is gone. It's been gone for 2 weeks. I've been working. I've been working, for the last couple of weeks. So I'm fine there, Big Clue. Thank you for asking. My COVID has disappeared. So now Bert Blyleven will roll, and it's a 6-1. And that now comes up as a K, which is a possible strikeout. We then check the batter's strikeouts ratings. Bert Blyleven is a righty, and against a right-handed pitcher, Dower would strike out on a 5. But then you check this ballpark. The ballpark has a +1 strikeout rating at Three River Stadium and a -1 walk rating. Okay? So that actually increases Dower's strikeout rating from a 5 to a 6. We then check the D20, and that's an 11. He will not strike out. It has to be equal to or lower than the adjusted strikeout or strikeout rating. He does not strike out on 11, which means now it comes to Rich Dower's card. And that's a 3-1, and that is a G4, and he will also ground out to second. So 2 plays are made by scrap iron, and we've got 2 outs. Next batter is going to be Ken Singleton. He is in right field for this game. A 295 average, 35 homers, 111 RBIs. Ken Singleton was an MVP candidate that year. Very good season for him in an Orioles uniform. He played in almost every game for the O's. So once again, Bert Blyleven again gets the roll, and it's a 1-1. This is now a blank. If it comes up a blank on the pitcher card, that means it goes straight to the batter card, as the batter will now resolve the play. So we re-roll on the batter card, and it's a 2-1. And this time, a 2-1 is a 2-star 1 or double star 1. This is an automatic out by the batter. And anytime 2 stars comes up, automatic out. So double star 1, you refer to the pitcher card, and you look at his star line column. A double star 1 is, again, you read the double star and the numbers underneath. And again, it is a ground ball to second. So all 3 outs made by the Baltimore Orioles in this inning were all grounders to Phil Garner. So Garner made every play in the inning, and that will retire the side. So 3 up and 3 down by Blyleven. And you look at, and the one thing I like about the pitcher cards when you do this, you can actually tell if the pitcher was a ground ball pitcher, or he was a neutral pitcher, or he was a flyout pitcher. Bert Blyleven has 3 G's and 3 F's. So you know Blyleven was a neutral pitcher. He got the grounder or he got the flyout. We now go to the bottom of the first inning. Let's take a look at the starting pitcher for the Baltimore Orioles, and that will be Hall of Famer Jim Palmer. Palmer, not one of his better years, really, but he was still very strong. He only had 22 starts that season. He got injured. He was injured. He was injured for part of that. Palmer, 10 wins, 6 losses, a 3.30 ERA. 29 batters he can face before tiring, and 12 on a pull rating. He did do relief. Very good fielder, has a 5 range at a fielder and no error. So anything hit to him is probably going to make a play will be made on it. Palmer was hurt part of the year. He only had 22 starts in 1979. And you can look at his star line. You see he has 2 G's and 4 F's, which means that he gave up a fly ball more recently than a grounder. So he was a little bit more of a fly ball pitcher than he was a ground ball pitcher. So Jim Palmer, of course, Hall of Famer, and what a great pitcher he was, absolutely. So he will pitch here in the bottom of the first against the Pirates. Leading off for the Pirates is going to be center fielder Omar Moreno, a 282 average, 8 homers, 69 RBIs. Moreno was in all 162 games for the Bucks that year. So we go to the bottom of the first inning here for the Pirates, and Palmer, of course, we go ahead and roll first. It is a 6-6, and that comes up here with a /K. This is a split chance. A split chance means that on the right side of the slash is against righties. Against the left side of the slash would be against lefties. Jim Palmer against righties. This would be a strikeout chance. Omar Moreno is a lefty, which means that we go to the left side of the slash, and it is a blank. So Palmer does not get a chance to strike him out on this result. So it becomes a blank, and Moreno now gets to roll. And he rolls a 2-5, and that is a double star 5, and that's just going to be go back to Palmer's card. That is a 5, and that's just going to be a ground out to short. It's a G6. Palmer just made ESPN's top 100. Blyleven did not. I agree. Blyleven does not. He is a Hall of Famer, but he does not belong on the top 100. I totally agree with. And by the way, I did see that all-time list, and some of those guys were absolutely crazy. Some of them know nothing about baseball. And don't get me into that big clue. I disagreed with so many of their choices. All right. Totally disagree with so many of their choices. All right. I'm not going to go into it. That's for discussion for another day. So here comes Tim Foley for the Pirates. He is at shortstop, 288 average, a homer, and 65 RBIs. Their regular shortstop for the Bucks that year. Palmer will roll. It is a 2-4, and that here comes up as a double star. That is an automatic out. So the batter doesn't even get a chance on this play. So that is a double star. It's an automatic out, and you pretty much you're just going to re-roll a die to see what the play is going to be. You can choose any die to roll. It's a 6, and you're going to go here, and it's just going to be a fly out to center. F8 is fly out to center. As Palmer, pretty much any time you have double stars, it means the pitcher controlled the at-bat, and the pitcher controlled the at-bat. The batter really didn't get a chance to swing at it. And we got a chance to swung at it, but the pitcher controlled the at-bat, and that's 2 outs. In a way, you kind of can think of that happening. A double star is kind of like Stratomatic, where the result came off the pitcher card automatically. The batter never got a chance. Okay. The only thing about that with inside pitches version of it, it doesn't happen very often. All right. It doesn't happen very often, as Jim Palmer has only 3 cells all right, actually 2.5 cells because this is on against righties, okay, that he could actually control the at bat. Everything else, walk chance, home run chance, wild pitch, range plays, and that sort of thing. So there are 2 outs, and I know Big Clue would be with me on that. And the next batter will be right fielder Dave Parker. Parker had a MVP season, 310 average, 25 bombs, 94 RBIs, 622 at bats. Dave Parker, Cobra, had a heck of a year, that had a very good season with the Pirates in 79. So we go to Palmer's card again. He will roll. And that is a 2-6, and that says RP at. This is a range play at the park, which means the batter does not get the caller here. It goes to Three Rivers Stadium, and it's a range play. So we'll go ahead. So we re-roll, but this time we roll on Three Rivers Stadium. Three Rivers Stadium had 151 home runs that year, a 269 average, pretty much actually close to a hitter's park, in my opinion, a hitter's park. A batting average above 250, and it's got 5 home runs. Plays neutral on the cells, plays neutral to about hitter's park. So we re-roll the dice, and first we get a 2-3. Now, a 2-3 here says a ball hit the left. This is a question mark 7. This is a ball hit the left field. This is a ball hit the left field is what this is. So then we go ahead, or the hit column roll, okay, or the hit column roll here at Three Rivers Stadium. So it says question mark 7. So we go to here. And now we check the die. We now check the black dot, the D20, to see what happens. And that is a 14. Well, if you go ahead and check here, all right, for Three Rivers Stadium, it says HR equals 9-14. This is a possible home run chance, all right, which means Parker probably got hit one into the air, and this is probably going to clear the fences. Now, remember, it is a range play at the park, but a home run chance nullifies a range play if a home run is made. So now it says HR. You still have to check the batter's home run power against, to hit the home run. Palmer is a right-handed pitcher. Against righties, Parker has a 15 chance. So we had a 75% chance, to hit a home run here. There's no adjustments here at Three Rivers Stadium. So it is a 15. You already used the D20 the first time to get the result here. You now need to roll a D20 again to decide if he gets a home run. A 1-15, Parker is going to go yard. It is an 8, and he does. Kaboom! High, deep, and gone. Dave Parker hits one into the air at Three Rivers Stadium, and it is a goner. 1-0 Pirates. Stadium cheers. Yay! So Dave Parker gets a home run off of Palmer, and that's going to put the Pirates ahead quickly here, 1-0 here at Three Rivers Stadium. How about that? Dave Parker, a home run there as he goes ahead and hits this one. And that's not Palmer's fault. That's just Three Rivers Stadium playing it that way. And that was a home run to left is what that was. So Gary Renicky tried to go back in there, try to get it, but it was an 8. It pretty much wound up at least maybe, I would say at least 16 rows back. He hit that hard. That just didn't clear the fence. So a 1-0 lead there for the Pirates in this exhibition game as Jim Palmer, he didn't serve up a meatball. Three River Stadium just carried it. So now the Pirates are still up. And now that will bring up the first baseman, Willie Pops Stargell. Stargell batted .281 in 1979, 32 bombs, 82 RBIs. And Willie Stargell got the MVP that year in 1979, as Big Clue is correctly stated. Stargell got the National League MVP. I don't know. I'm a little concerned about he got the World Series MVP is what he got. Willie Stargell. Remember Keith Hernandez shared it with shared it with Stargell that year. As was a co-MVPs that year. So yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, I guess I don't know. I'm a little surprised that Stargell got it. Also, Keith Hernandez owned the National League in batting that year. So Jim Palmer will go up against Stargell here now with 2 outs. Still now 1-0 Bucks. And we roll. It is a 4-2, and it's a blank, so we know that it goes straight to Stargell's card. We roll again, and it's a 5-1. A 5-1 is an F9, and that is a high fly ball to right field. But getting under it is going to be Ken Singleton, and he will make the catch. And that will retire the side. So 1 run, 1 hit. There were no errors as Dave Parker, Cobra, went yard. And after 1 in this exhibition demo game, the Pirates lead 1-0. As we will now go to the top of the second. And it's good to see everybody here for this demonstration game. Okay, the Orioles will lead off. And leading off for the Orioles, first baseman Eddie Murray. And he had a pretty good year that year, too. 295 average, 25 homers, 99 RBIs. He had 600 at bats. He was a very good first baseman, at good range. Didn't make that many errors. Eddie Murray had a there's nothing wrong with those stats. I will take those every year. Malbert's 20 joins us here at Three Rivers Stadium for a demonstration. So Eddie Murray will come up. Of course, he is a Hall of Famer, deservedly so. So Bert Blyleven will go ahead and make the pitch and see what he gets. And it is a 5-4. A 5-4 comes up as a K, a possible strikeout. Eddie Murray against right-handers, he has a 13, plus 1 is 14. So a 14 or lower, he will strike out. That is a 13, and he will go down on strikes, as that will be a K for Blyleven, and that is the first strikeout for Blyleven. He had 172 of them that year, so that's pretty good. That's not bad. That's pretty good throwing by him. Next batter will be third baseman Doug DeCinces. DeCinces, a 230 average, 16 homers, 61 RBIs. Very good range at third base. Had a range of a 5. Made a few errors here and there, but not too bad. That's not a bad, not great at the plate, but a fine fielder for the O's in 79. So 1 out. Blyleven will go ahead and make the pitch. It is a 1-5. And this says ET question mark. This is error on a throw, which means if a throw is made, there is a possible error made by the fielder. We now go to DeCinces' card and see what he did. And that is a 1-6. And a 1-6 comes up as a D8. This is a double into center field. So DeCinces goes ahead, gets a hold of 1 from Blyleven. It is a D8, a double to center field. There is nobody on base, so a throw is not going to be made to try to run an error on a throw. Error on throws, and I'll show you the chart here for E8. Okay, on an error on a throw, only applicable if rolling for runner advancement. Otherwise, no error. So since there was nobody trying to advance a base, DeCinces gets his double, and he will stay at second. And he gets the first hit of the game for the Orioles. Steady Eddie missed the top 100, but Big Papi made it. Yeah, as I said, those guys really knew nothing about baseball. So we got a runner on second base. And usually with a runner on base, I usually keep the infield back. With a runner on second, I keep the infield back. Inside pitch has double play, corners in or in. Corners in I use for bunts, for possible bunts, in for infield in, and double play depth. But since we have a runner on second base, we're just going to go ahead and have the infield back. So DeCinces was at second. And the next batter is Gary Renicky. Renicky is in left field for this game. And a good fielder he was, a 5 range, only an error rating of 2 on a -1 arm, pretty good arm. 261 average, 25 homers, 64 RBIs. Renicky was more of a pinch hitter, but he did get a number of good. He did get a half, but he probably did start about half the year. Gary Renicky was one of the better utility men for the Orioles. I decided to use him in there because of his fielding ability. So DeCinces is on base. Now, when you have a runner on base, you now roll what is called the strategy die. This is optional to all of you people out there who are wondering about the strategy die. Okay, the strategy die is optional. You do not have to use it. The strategy roll. The strategy roll pretty much is designed for people that play solitaire and decide what kind of managerial options you have in chance of a steal, a hit and run, a bunt, or a pickoff attempt. The strategy roll is optional. However, a couple of reasons why I always use it. A, I want to see if something's available. B, Bert Blyleven does have a pickoff chance at second base, a pickoff chance. So you want to roll to see if a pickoff can occur. Okay. And the strategy roll is optional. I also state that sometimes I'll get a strategy roll come up, and that maybe a steal is available, or a bunt is available, or a hit and run's available, but I will make a managerial decision and not do it just because of the game situation or such. So what you do is you roll a D20 for the strategy roll, and it comes up as a 7. So now you first check to see if there is a steal attempt. A steal attempt equals attempt plus hold. Doug DeCinces has a steal attempt of 2, and you add the pitcher's stolen hold rating, which is a +1, which is a 3. Now, in order to steal third, the attempt is divided by 2, round down, stealing third. So in order for DeCinces to have a chance to steal third, okay, he really would have needed a 1. So he has a 2. He really would have needed a 1 because 2 plus 1 is 3 divided by 2, okay, which is 1.5, and you round that down to a 1. That is a 7. So DeCinces does not get a steal attempt. Or in this case, he doesn't get a jump. I call it getting the jump to see if he could have gotten a chance to steal third. He would have a pretty good chance, though. He had 5 stolen bases in 79. And his stolen base rating is a 13, so he can actually steal a base. Okay, he has chances, but in this case, with that 7, it is too high. Now we'll check a hit and run. A hit and run means a check the chart, and you check to see if a hit and run here. Gary Renicky is a 12, +1 is a 13 for strikeouts. So you check the hit and run chart. His strikeout rating is a 13 to 16. You add 1 to a chance of hit and run. A hit and run is anything. So in order for a hit and run attempt, it would have to be like, because you go here and you have his hit and run attempt, you add 1, which would have been an 8. That is a 7, and there's not going to be a hit and run. Plus, I also don't do hit and runs with runners on second anyway. The bunt, that is a 7, okay. In order for Gary Renicky to bunt, his rating is a 1, and a regular rating is a no, so he's not going to bunt. So there's not going to be a steal or a hit and run. So in that case, then we just roll normally and roll the pitch. Strategy rolls can be a little bit complicated once you get to know how they work. So now we do the pitch. It's a 3-6. A 3-6, Blyleven comes up with a W. This is a walk, okay, a possible walk. We'll check Renicky's walk rating. And against the righty, he walks a lot. He has a 17 against right-handers. And you subtract any adjustments from the stadium, and it's -1. So that becomes a 16. Well, that is a 17. So because the stadium actually lowered Renicky down to a 16, he does not get the walk. And sometimes these adjustments make big differences. So Renicky does not walk here, so he gets to roll. Let's see what he does. It could have been a big difference between runners at first and second, or it could have been a possible out. So now we roll again. It's a 6-1. Renicky comes up as a 6, and that is an F7, and that's just going to be a fly out to left. So Renicky flies out to left. That's the second out. Now, for flyouts, you got to check to see the modifications to see if a chance for runners to move from second to third or from third to home. DeCinces, on a fly out to left, the modification is -3 on a fly out to left. So you take a look at his base running rating, and the runner's base running rating is a 2. Well, you subtract -3, it's a -1. I don't even know. I didn't even look at the fielder's arm to see if there's anything a chance like that. If it's anywhere in 0, I always check if a base running rating is negative or a 0. I don't even check. However, you still can. So DeCince's base running rating is now a -1, and that was hit to left field. The left fielder for the Pirates is Bill Robinson. Now, Bill Robinson, he has a +2 arm in left field. You check his rating, a 3, has a +2 arm in left field. He doesn't have a good arm. So actually in this, really, okay, it's a -1, but you add 2, and DeCince actually gets his base running rating is a 1. He actually can take a chance since Bill Robinson had absolutely a terrible arm in left field. He can actually take a chance to go to third. Since this is a demonstration game, let's follow the rules. So, DeCince now has a base running rating of 1. In order to go ahead and see if he moves over, you roll 2 dice. You roll 2 dice here. And if first D6 is higher than ABR, runner holds. Otherwise, advance to third. A roll of a 66, however, roll a third 1d6 to check the outfielder arm rate to see if there is going to be an out or the runner holds. So I roll the first d6, so I'll roll the yellow, and if it's a 1, DeCince would get the third. It is a 4, so he would hold automatically. So now you do not have to roll to see if he's out. So it was a 4. So because Bill Robinson had a terrible arm, okay, he still DeCince actually would have had a chance to get the third if the ball was pretty much hit deep enough. So in a way, in this kind of thing, the ball wasn't hit deep enough for DeCince to go to third. So Renicky flies out instead of a possible walk, and there are 2 outs. Next batter for the Orioles is going to be shortstop Kiko Garcia. Garcia, 247 average, 5 homers, 24 RBIs, and 79. Good shortstop. I mean, a 4 range is very good. Is pretty good. He does make errors though with a 12. So we roll the strategy die again. You always roll the strategy die once to see if anything can happen for every time runners change positions or a new batter comes up. And it is a 3. So Blyleven, a +1 here, and a 3. But you divide that by 2. You divide that by 2, so it's a 1.5. Again, it's a 1. That 3 is too high, so there's not going to be a steal. Okay. Kiko Garcia against right-handers strikeouts +1 is a 15. And 15 you add 1 to the rating for a chance to steal. All right. So it would be a 2. The 3 is still too high, so there's not going to be a hit and run. But you really don't hit and run with runners on set with 2 outs anyway. So with 2 outs, you wouldn't worry about the hit and run. You don't worry about bunts with it if you're using the strategy die roll. So there's not going to be a steal. So Blyleven will go ahead and pitch. And that is a 3-2. And that is a blank. So now we go straight to Kiko Garcia's card. It's a 5-1, and Garcia gets a base hit. It's a single S pass short. So Garcia comes up with a single S6, and that's past the shortstop. Now we got to see if DeCince scores from second. We already know it's a single, but it's an S6. There's no extra die rolls. You go straight to the runner advancement charts from S1 to S6. Doug DeCince's base running rating is a 2. With 2 outs, all base running ratings on runners on base are increased by 1. So his base running rating is a 3. You check the chart and you check S6. From first to third, it's a 5 to 6, a base running rating of 5 to 6. He would get to third base, but we're checking second to home, and it's a 3 to 6. So because it was 2 outs and Doug DeCince was off on contact, a single pass short, Garcia will get him in, and this ball game is tied. So it is a single for Blyleven, and that will tie the game at 1. It's an RBI single for Kiko Garcia. Brad Church joins us here at Three Rivers Stadium for our demonstration game. So Kiko Garcia hits a single into the hole past the shortstop, and we are tied here at 1 now. And we'll bring up the next batter for the Orioles. It will be the catcher, Rick Dempsey. Dempsey, a 239 average, 6 homers, 41 RBIs. Excellent catcher in 79, a range of 5. Very much did not allow hardly any pass balls. His pass ball ratings of 5. Excellent arm, -2 at throwing out stolen base runners. Dempsey did not hit that well at 239, but he was an excellent defensive catcher for the Orioles that year. So Garcia is on at first. It's now a 1-1 tie. And we roll the strategy die to see if Garcia gets a chance to steal. Let's take a look at his attempt rating. It is a 4, +1 for Blyleven's a 5. We don't do hit and runs or bunts, so the only thing we're checking out is to see if Garcia gets a stolen base chance or if Blyleven gets a pickoff. A pickoff chance is always a 20. That is a 17. Nothing happening, and Dempsey's not going to bunt. And of course, however, if there's nothing here in the pickoff rating, such as Jim Palmer, as he did not have any pickoffs or balks that year, all right, a 20 wouldn't matter there. So there's no steal attempt, so now we re-roll to see to resolve the at-bat. Blyleven will pitch. It is a 2-6. And that is a double question mark. So you go to this state, you go to this here. It's a double question mark. I call it a pitcher result. Dempsey is a right-hander, and a 1-6 would have been a single up the middle for Blyleven against Blyleven. That is a 16. So you check here, and an S1. It's a 16, so that does not fall within this category here. So this becomes a blank, which now means you roll on the batter card. And it is a 6-1, and this becomes a double star 2, which will be an automatic out. We go to the 2 column here for Blyleven, and it's just a ground ball to short. So it's picked up by Foley, and he's going to go to throw to first to get Dempsey. Since Dempsey has a base running rating of 1, he's slow as molasses, and that will retire the side. Orioles get 1 run on 2 hits, and we are tied at 1 here at Three Rivers Stadium in this demonstration, in this demo game. So now we go to the bottom of the second, tied at 1. Palmer gets back on the mound. And leading off for the Pirates will be Bill Robinson. Robinson is in left field for the game. He has a 264 average, 24 homers, and 75 RBIs that year. He played multiple positions. Usually, Chris Davis puts the position at the player was at most of in for that season, and that's why left field is up top for Robinson. So bottom of the second, tied at 1 now. Jim Palmer, a 5-6, and that again, Jim Palmer again a split chance, and against a right-handed pitcher, a right-handed batter, that is a double star. So against a right-handed batter, that's going to be an automatic out. Robinson is a right-handed batter, so you're going to re-roll the die and go to his automatic out card, star line chart, and that is a 2, and Robinson flies out to center. Next up for the Pirates will be Bill Madlock. Madlock is at third base for this game. We will see Bill Madlock in our opening day game with the Giants and the Reds. Bill Madlock is on the Giants to start the season there before he winds up on the Pirates. And Steeler fan is just being a putz, as you can see there with Harold Baines. By the way, Harold Baines, I don't think he made that top 100 list. I'm pretty sure he didn't. I don't remember if he did or not. I don't think he did. And if he did, that would have been I would have wrote ESPN to have everyone that did that list be fired. So Madlock is up. Let's see what Palmer's got for him. The roll is a 6-6, and again it's a split chance against a right-handed batter. It's a strikeout chance. Madlock against righties was a 4, didn't strike out much. +1 from the stadium is a 5. That is an 18. That's too high, so he will not strike out. So Madlock does get to get on there. And Madlock will roll a 1-4, and that's just going to be an F7, and that is a fly out to left. Although I will say, Steeler fan, I did see Bill Swift's name on the top 100 list. I did see Bill Swift on the top 100 list. I know I saw him. He got a no-hitter against some lousy Astros team or something in 1994. You might want to know about that. 2 outs, and here comes the catcher, Ed Ott. Ed Ott is known, he has the shortest name in baseball history. Ed Ott. Shortest name in baseball. 273 average, 7 homers, 51 RBIs. Average catcher, 3.3 and a 4. So 2 outs, and let's see where Palmer has here. Palmer a 4-1, and that is a blank, so we go straight to Ed Ott's card. Ed Ott is a 4-1, and that's going to be an S8. So Ed Ott's going to get himself a single to center. So that's a straight base hit to center field, and Ed Ott is on first. Now we'll see second baseman Scrap Iron Phil Garner. Garner in 79 had a good year. 293 average, 11 homers, and 59 RBIs. Okay. Garner, excellent second baseman that season. Garner was one of the better players that year in baseball. We have 2 outs. Ed Ott, let's take a look and see. Ed Ott has an attempt rate. We still roll the strategy die. Ed Ott has an attempt rating of H, which means the only way he can move on base here is on a hit and run attempt. Phil Garner has a hit and run attempt of 3. Jim Palmer has a hit and run attempt. Garner has a -1. So the only way, and Garner's against right-handed pitcher is a 9, +1 is a 10 for strikeouts. So it's a -1. And we got and that is what here? That is a 9, so 10. And you'll check the hit and run chart, a +2. So the only way a hit and run could actually be done here would be if a 1 is rolled on the strategy die. But since there are 2 outs, we don't do hit and runs here. So, but just for the sake of argument, I'll roll it anyway. It's a 14 and nothing would happen as well. So Garner here will now go up against Palmer. Palmer rolls a 2-2, and now we get EG question mark, which means error on a grounder. This is a possible error chance if a ground ball is hit. So now we roll on Garner. Garner is a 4-1, and that is a ground ball. It's a ground ball to second. So it's a G4. So the ball is hit to Rich Dower at second base. Dower's error rating at second base is a 6. That is a 12. It's too high. It will not be an error. So Dower will go ahead and make the play. He'll throw to first to get Garner out, and that will retire the side. You can always use. I always like to use the D. If I like to use the D20 roll on the first time, you can re-roll a D20 if you wish. That's all your preference on there. So no runs a hit for the Pirates. And after 2, we got a 1-1 tie. "48 minutes into the stream, and we're only on the 3rd inning, but that's because we are demonstrating. This is a demonstration game. I don't care how long this game takes. This is for people that don't know how to play the game and want or are thinking about or learning how to play it better. Some people that are on the fence about it. I still say this is the most exciting tabletop baseball game you can play. Okay, I just think it is. The dice run everything, and once you get the calculations in your head down, it really goes very smoothly, as some of you see how quickly I can get through a game during the regular season. Leading off for the Orioles is supposed to be Jim Palmer, and I create my own special hitting cards for pitchers. Now, the baseball game does not come with these, although I did send a PDF to Chris to try to get things like these onto the website as a free download, as a PDF download, so people can have their own hitting cards. This is my own creation, all right? This is not by anybody. This is my own work, and I only use these cards in case a National League pitcher, an American League pitcher bats at a National League park during the DH years. Jim Palmer actually was a pretty good hitter before the DH. He actually has a lifetime batting average of 176, and he has a couple of home runs. So I use a pitcher hitting card close to it, which is a 167. And since I know Palmer hit the home runs, I'm going to use these threes as slashes against them to know he can hit the home run if a home run comes up. Remember, this does not come up early. These cards do not come with the set. These are not available. This is my own creation, just so I can have a pitcher hitting card, at a National League ballpark. No, I'm not going to watch the Pro Bowl. I couldn't care. What, the Pro Bowl is on? Really? Didn't know. So let's see what we got here. So Bert Blyleven will make a pitch, and that is a 3-2, and that is a blank. So now we go to the pitcher card, to the hitting card. It is a 1-5, and that comes up as a G5, and that's just going to be a ground out to third by Palmer. So 1 out, and here comes Bunbury. Bunbury is 0 for 1. Blyleven will make the pitch. It's a 1-2. And here we go, get a strikeout chance, okay. Bunbury against righties is a 10, plus 1 from the ballpark is an 11. That is a 20. It is too high. Bunbury does not strike out. He rolls a 5-2, and Bunbury goes ahead and gets a base hit to left field. That is a S7, and Bunbury gets a single. No Pro Bowl party this year, no. So Bunbury is on first, and now I'm going to move the infield to double play depth. So now a double play depth, it's a better chance to get double plays, but ranges at third, short, second, and first are reduced by 1. So here comes Rich Dower. He is 0 for 1. Bunbury does have a good stealing chance. He's got a 6, plus 1 is a 7. Dower has a strikeouts against 5, and plus 1 is a 6. So it would be a 7 or lower for Bunbury to get a jump, or an 8, 9, or 10. Dower can go for a hit and run. It could be a hit and run. It is a 9, and we're going to do a hit and run here, since I'm trying to demo the game. So what is a 9? So a hit and run comes up. So we're going to do the hit and run. Okay. So now we do a hit and run attempt. On a hit and run, all ground ball double play ratings get a -2. All base runner ratings get a +2. All home run and walk rates for the batter are cut in half. All lineouts are double plays. If the batter strikes out, resolve the play like a steal, a -2 to the stolen base rating. So we're going to do a hit and run. So Blyleven will roll. It is a 1-1, and that is a blank. So now we go straight to Dower. Dower is a 2-2, and that's going to be a S5. That's going to be a base hit right past third. Dower gets a single. So now it's a single. It's a hit and run, so we know Bunbury's already on the way. So Bunbury's base running rating is normally a 4, but now his base running rating gets a +2, so it becomes a 6. On a single past third, to get from first to third, you need a 6 in order to get there. That's the only way you can get here is on a 6, on a base hit past third, and that's actually going to be enough. So Bunbury actually will make third base on the hit and run. So it's a perfect hit and run, as it allows Bunbury to get to third, and Dower goes to first. And the Orioles are in business with 1 out here in the top of the third inning, tied at 1. Here's Singleton. Singleton is 0 for 1. We're going to call the infield in here for the Pirates, try to keep the Orioles from scoring, which makes out Bunbury's base running rating a 2 on the infield in if the ball is hit into someone in the infield. Dower has only a hit and run chance. Okay, so it's a +1. So the only way a hit and run could, and Singleton, however, though, against righties is a 14, +1 is a 15. So it would be a +1. So the only way a hit and run would actually come up here would be a 2. But I don't think I would do a hit and run in this situation, but we will roll anyway. And that is a 12, and nothing's happening. So the infield is in. Runners at first and third, top of the third inning. It is a 3-2 for Blyleven, and that is a blank. We will now go to Singleton's card. Singleton, a 3-4, and that is going to be a double star 4, and that is going to be a ground ball to third. is a ground ball to third. Now, in this case, a ground ball to third. Now, when you have the infield in, all right, and it's not bases loaded, you have a choice. First of all, it's a ground ball to third. The first team that's got to make a decision is the offense. Do you send the runner? And do you send the runner? That's the first thing you do. Okay. So the question is, do we send Al Bunbury, as G Puck joins us here as well? Howard Baines was a Met. He was not a Met, so it doesn't matter. So Al Bunbury, the question is, do we send Bunbury? Bunbury's base running rating is a 2, which means if we send him and the defense decides to throw the ball to the plate, Bunbury would score on a 1, 2, or a 6, because on a 6, all runners advance no matter what in this. If we do not send the runner, the only play is at first, which means Dower would go to second. Okay. No, G-Puck. Baines is not a Hall of Famer, even if he was a Met. In this case, what I'm going to do is this is an exhibition game. It doesn't matter what we're going to do. So let's demonstrate. So I'm going to go ahead and send Bunbury to home. I'm going to send Bunbury home. Now the question is, do we try to make the play at the plate, or do we throw to first? Bunbury has a 50% chance of scoring. He would score on a 1, 2, or a 6. With that in mind, as the Pirates, I'm going to go ahead and make the play to first, and I'm going to let Bunbury score. So I'm going to let Bunbury come in to score. The throw will go to first. Dower goes to second. Singleton is out. You get the out, but the Orioles do take the lead. Next time, maybe we'll try to make a throw here, but in an exhibition game, it really doesn't matter, and I want to show everybody as much of the mechanics as possible. So Bunbury will come in to score. Dower goes to first, and it's a ground out. The throw goes to first, and there are now 2 outs, but the Orioles now lead it 2-1. Why not? What's the difference? The next batter will be Eddie Murray. Murray is 0 for 1. He struck out his first time up. Dower doesn't really have any chance to steal, but Blyleven does have a pickoff chance, so we roll anyway to see if there's a pickoff chance, and there is not. So Blyleven will go ahead, and you know what, Matt? You keep on talking about Harold Baines. I'm just going to have to block you. Don't make me bring out the block dragon in me, Steeler fan, and he knows what I'm talking about. Blyleven was going to go ahead and pitch a 1-5. That is, again, an error, ET ? Error on a throw. So now we check to see if a throw will be made. Eddie Murray rolls a 1-4, and that is a ground ball to third. It's a G5. Now there could be a throwing error because the throw's got to be made to first. It is a G5, an error on a throw. The third baseman for the Pirates is Bill Madlock. Bill Madlock at third has an error rating of 7. That is a 10. He will not make an error. So Madlock does not make an error. He bobbles it a little bit, but he throws to first to get Murray, and that will retire the side. So all 3 outs were actually made by Madlock at third base. But 1 run comes in on 2 hits as we go to the bottom of the third, and the Orioles now have a 2-1 lead here in this demonstration game. I missed you guys. Remember, I do other things too, guys, but I know Marvel Champions or my World War II stuff is not your cup of tea. I'm aware of it. It's okay. That's why I changed my name to RJL Network, because I do a whole bunch of other stuff. Let's go to the bottom of the third, shall we? Jim Palmer gets back on the mound, and leading off for the Bucks is going to be Bert Blyleven. Blyleven does have his own hitting card, a 129 average, 3 RBIs, capable hitter. So let's see what we do now in the bottom of the third. Palmer will make a pitch. It is a 1-3. Now, this is an S1 in parentheses. If the pitcher is past his amount of batters, this would be a fatigue result, and he would be tired, and that would be an automatic single right back through the box. Palmer has only pitched to 8 batters, so he is not tired, so that becomes a blank. My rule is I use the optional exhausted rule. If he was tired and this came up, I would automatically replace Palmer. But it becomes a blank. So Blyleven will go ahead and swing. It's a 1-5, and he just grounds it right back to Palmer, and he tosses it over to first for the out. Here comes Moreno. Moreno is 0 for 1. JAA joins us here at Three Rivers Stadium. As he says, he likes inside pitch, but he likes payoff pitch just a bit more. That is fine. I love payoff pitch. I know I haven't played it since I started playing inside pitch. I will not knock payoff pitch. Payoff pitch is an excellent game. Nothing wrong with it at all. Nothing wrong with it at all. Payoff pitch also uses the pitcher batter. It's a little bit easier to play. It's a little bit easier to play because you use the fast action cards for rolls, for base running rating and all that. It is a terrific game. I'm not knocking any game. Each game has its own positives and minuses. The reason why I like inside pitch so much, it's the most exciting game. You really don't know what the dice rolls are going to say. Plus, every card is different. You really need to look at the cards to see how the play results. It's not like APA, where you know an 11 or a 66 is possibly a home run, or something like that. Stratomatic, of course, it's the 50-50 thing. By the way, for those of you who are wondering, I did order a copy of 1986 Stratomatic. You will see Stratomatic on this channel. The 1986 season. I did say if they ever did it, they ever remastered the 86 season, I would get it. I've already pre-ordered it. I will be receiving it probably in late February. We will see some Strat on this channel. Probably with the 86 Mets. Other reason why I like the 86 Stratomatic, it was the first ever baseball cards and dice game I ever purchased. Jim Palmer will now pitch to Moreno. Palmer is a 6-1, and that is a walk, a W+. This is a walk plus is what this means. You add 10 to the batter's walk rating, which means probably Palmer did not have much control on this at bat, and he might have walked the batter. So we check Omar Moreno. Against the righty, Moreno has a 6. -1 from the ballpark makes him a 5, but you now add 10. So now it becomes a 15. That is a 19. Even though Palmer did not have good control at this at bat, he does not walk Moreno. Moreno still gets the swing, 6-3, and that's going to be a base hit. It's an S7, and that's going to be a single to left. So Moreno will go to left field will go get a single. So Moreno does go ahead and get the single, and the next batter will be Foley. Foley is 0 for 1. Infield will move to double play depth. Let's take a look. Moreno, definite stealing threat. Moreno was fast. 77 stolen bases that year. Moreno, one of the leaders in stolen bases. He was good, and he's got a very high stolen base rating of a 10. But -1 from Palmer makes him a 9. Foley rarely struck out. His strikeout rating is a 2, +1 is a 3. So we go to the hit and run chart. So that's going to be +4. So a 1 to 9, Moreno gets the jump. A 1 to 13 is a hit and run possibility. That is a 4, and he got the jump. We're going to send him. So now I'm going to show you the steal mechanic. Moreno stolen base rating is a 16. You take the right side of the hash mark for the pitcher. So a 16 -1 is a 15. The catcher is Rick Dempsey. Dempsey's arm is a -2. So now you're going to roll a D20. So it'll be a 1 to 13. So a 1 to 13 chance. Moreno is safe at second. It is a 6, and he does slide in there safe. So Moreno does get the stolen base. And now that Moreno has stolen second, you again roll to see if Moreno gets a jump to go to third. It's still a 10. -1 is a 9. But to go to get a third, it's divided by 2. So this becomes a 4.5. You round it down to a 4. So a 1 to 4, Moreno gets a jump. It's a 6. He does not, so he stays at second. And now you re-roll the at-bat. Of course, the stolen base does take away the double play chance, so we move the infield back. Palmer, it is a 4-2, and that is a blank. We go to Foley's card, a 6-6, and that's going to be a fly ball to left field. Getting under it will be Renicky. He will make the catch. Moreno, his base running rating is a 4. On a fly ball to left, -3 is a 1. Renicky and left field has a -1, which makes him an arm, which makes him a 0. So because of that, Moreno is not going to go to third, and he will stay at second automatically, and that will be the second out. Here comes Cobra. Cobra is 1 for 1. He bombed his first time up, got a solo home run. Parker, of course, a major chance here. So a new batter. Let's see if Moreno gets a jump again. It would be a 1 to 4. He could get the jump. It's an 11. He does not. He'll stay at second. So Palmer again will go ahead and roll. And that is a 6-1. Again, it's a walk plus. So now we check the batter card. Parker is a 12. -1 is 11. But with a walk plus, so you add 10, so that's a 21. That's an automatic walk because you can't go any higher than the 20 on the D20. That was a 2. So Palmer absolutely pretty much pitched to Parker cautiously and allowed him to walk. So Parker will go to first. So you walk Parker to bring up Pops. Pops is 0 for 1. So now runners at first and second. Again, we rolled to see if Moreno would get a chance to steal. Needs a 4, a lower. It's a 13. He does not. So Moreno stays at second base. Palmer will now pitch to Pops. Palmer will deal with the pitch. It's a 3-3, and that is a strikeout chance. Against a righty, Stargell's a 17. +1 is an 18. That is an 8, and it's a swing and a miss, and he will strike out Stargell. That is the first strikeout for Palmer. He had only 67 strikeouts in 79. He was not a hard thrower that year. But that does retire the side. So no runs, and there was 1 hit and a stolen base. And after 3, the Orioles lead the Pirates 2-1 in this 1979 demo game. Glad you guys are joining me here. Remember, opening day is Valentine's Day next Monday. We have the Giants and the Reds, and we got a heck of a matchup for that. We got Vita Blue for the Giants, and of course, the terrific one pitching for the Reds, Tom Seaver. That will be Valentine's night, Monday night, between the Giants and the Reds, as we will begin the 1979 campaign. We will still use the same rules, 1 game for every 3 days of baseball. However, when we get to September, I will no longer do the 1 for 3, then the 1 for 2, and the 1 for 1. That grinded me out a little bit. We will play 1 game for every 3 days of baseball until the final week of the season. Then it will be 1 for 1. Let's go to the top of the 4th. Doug DeCinces leads off for the O's, and he doubled his first time up, so he is 1 for 1. Blyleven will go ahead and make the pitch here. It is a 6-5, and a 6-5, we have a split chance. Against a right-handed batter, it would be a blank. Against a left-handed batter, it would be a walk plus. DeCinces is a righty, so that is a blank, so it goes to DeCinces' card. DeCinces is a 4-6, and that is a double star 1, and that's going to be an automatic out. It will be a ground out to second. Next up is Renicky. Renicky is 0 for 1. Blue and Seaver should have been teammates in 79. So I was told. Blyleven, a 4-4. And here we go. Here, 4-4 in parentheses in S1. If Blyleven was tired, this would be a single back up the middle. He is not. He can pitch to 28 batters, and he has only pitched right now to 14 batters. So that becomes a blank. Renicky gets the swing, 2-5, and that is a G4, and that is a ground out to second. Two outs. Here comes Garcia. Garcia singled his first time up. He is 1 for 1. Blyleven. You roll on his card first. It's a 1-5. That's an ET question mark. That's an error on a throw. Possible error on a throw. Now Garcia will roll. And it is a 1-6, and that is an L4. That is a line drive hit right to second base. There's not going to be an error because it's a line. It's going to be a line out to second. And 1-2-3 will go the Orioles in the innings. So we go to the bottom of the fourth. It is still 2-1 in favor of the O's. It's kind of interesting that for the 1981 demo game I did before we started the 81 season, we did the Dodgers and the Yankees. Not surprising that we had the 81 World Series between the Dodgers and the Yankees. Really, really interesting how the 81 season went. That was fun. I have a funny feeling 79 is going to be just as fun to do. Bill Robinson will lead off for the Pirates. He is 0 for 1. So let's see what happens here. Palmer, a 6-5. 6-5 is a K, possible strikeout. Against a righty, Robinson's a 13. +1 is a 14. That's a 7. That's underneath the 14. Robinson will go down strikes, and that is strikeout number 2 for Palmer. Here comes Madlock. Madlock is 0 for 1. Madlock is on the Giants to start the 79 season, so we will see him in the Giants. We'll see him in a Pittsburgh uniform with the Giants. Palmer with the pitch. That's a 5-6, and it's a split chance. Against a righty, it's a right-handed batter. It's an automatic out. Against the lefty, it is a blank. Madlock is a right-handed batter, so that becomes an automatic out. We roll, and that's going to be a number 5, and that will be a ground out to short. Two outs, and here comes Ed Ott. Ott singled this first time up, so he is 1 for 1. Markets are too small. Who knows? I know they'll be in the playoffs, that's for sure. I'm pretty sure Baltimore and Pittsburgh will be in the playoffs due to the FastScore system. Palmer, 3-6. This is an at sign. This means this goes at the park. So it is a straight result at the park. So now we go to Three River Stadium and re-roll. And that is a 5-3. And a 5-3 says a double star 3. So this is going to be an automatic out. So we go back to the pitcher card. And that is going to be a fly out to right for Ott. And that will end the inning. So 1, 2, 3 go the Pirates for the first time in the ball game. Palmer sets the Pirates down in order. And after 4, it is still 2-1. Remember, I take the top 3 teams in each division for the playoffs in my league, which of course allows for more playoff action. There is talk in the majors that they're going to maybe go to a 14-team postseason. I think that's too much, as of course they're still locked out. I still think that is too much. I truly believe that I think 12 is enough. They want to increase it to 12 or 14. I think 12 is enough. I don't think you need 14 teams. But if they go to 14 teams, I may update my playoff system. We'll see. We may go to a 14-team playoff if they do it. But I think 12 is more than enough, especially here in the 70s and 80s, in the early 90s before they went to the 3-division alignment. So we go to the top of the 5th, and it will be Rick Dempsey. Rick Dempsey leads off for the O's, and he is 0 for 1. Blyleven will go ahead and make the pitch. Let's see what he has. It's a 5-1, and that is a K, strikeout chance. Dempsey against righties a 7, +1 is an 8. That is a 15. It's going to be too high, so there's not going to be a strikeout. Dempsey gets the swing, a 4-1, and that is a double star 4, and that becomes on the star line for Blyleven, and that's just going to be a ground out to third. If anybody has any questions, please ask. This is a demonstration game, so if you guys have questions, please ask. That'll bring up the pitcher, Jim Palmer. I'm going to let him hit. Again, we're going to use generic pitcher hitting card number 6, my own creation. So Palmer is going to bat again, and he is 0 for 1. Blyleven will go ahead and make the pitch. And that is a 3-4, a wild pitch, but because there's nobody on base, it's an automatic ball 1. Roll again. a 2-2. This time it's a walk. For generic pitchers, their walk rating, they used to be 10, and I really don't see many pitchers walking that often, especially they didn't get any at bats that season. So I made this a 0. You could still become a 10 due to a walk, due to a walk rating here, for a walk plus rating from the pitcher card. So I updated these cards. They used to be a 10, they're now a 0. And -1 here makes him a -1. So there's no way he's going to walk the pitcher. Palmer will get to swing a 5-3, and that is a K, which means that's an automatic strikeout. And that is strikeout number 2 for Blyleven, by the way. Matt, I love you more than my luggage. You're terrible, Matt, but I love you more than my luggage. I do. Here's Bunbury. Bunbury is 1 for 2. There are now 2 outs, so Blyleven will get the pitch. 2-2. Again, 2-2. Again, it's a walk. Bunbury against righties is an 8. -1 is a 7. That is a 9. He will not walk. Reroll a 6-6, and on 6-6 on his card is an F8, and that's just going to be a fly out to center. And once again, Blyleven retires the O's 1-2-3. Still 2-1 in favor of the O's halfway through the game as we go to the bottom of the 5th inning. Commercials, yeah, right. You have YouTube commercials up to each half inning. Well, if my channel ever gets monetized, who knows? I need 1,000 subscribers for that, and I'm way behind that. I'm like, I only, but every one of my subscribers is important to me. One of these days, who knows, I will be like Al Red Sox fan who has over 1,000 subs and all that. But of course, Al Red Sox fan deserves all that many subs because, well, he is the king of the hill. Al Red Sox fan is the best. There is nobody better. He is on the Mount Rushmore of this hobby. Here's Phil Garner. He'll lead off for the Pirates. Garner is 0 for 1. Palmer will come out to pitch. 3-2, and that comes up on Palmer's card as a K, a possible strikeout. Okay. Garner against righties is a 9. +1 is a 10. That is a 6. Palmer strikes out Garner. That is the 3rd strikeout for Palmer. Not much of a strikeout pitcher that year, but he's got 3 Ks in this game. Here comes Blyleven. He'll continue to pitch, so he'll stay out there. I know you guys love me. I know that, G-Puck. All you guys are great. I love every one of you. Every one of you guys is important. I mean, I'm really just doing this for fun, but because I got great guys like you in the chat, I can't go wrong. I'm having a blast. I never thought I'd be doing this. If you would have told me 2 years ago in 2019 I'd be doing this, I would have thought you were on crack. Palmer, a 3-5. That is a wild pitch, but there's nobody on base, so it's a ball 1. Reroll again. 2-1. Now we have an RP. This is a range play. This is a range play. So we actually get our first range play check of the check. So now we know that a fielder is going to have to make a play to make a play on the ball. Blyleven, you roll on Blyleven's card to see what it is. It is a 6-6. And on Blyleven's card, it is an F8. So this is a ball hit to center field, but it is a range play. Center fielder for the Orioles is Al Bunbury, and his range is a 4. So you roll to see a die to see if he makes the play. A 1-4, Bunbury will make the catch. It is a 2. Bunbury has no problem with it. Had to run in a little bit on it, but he makes the catch and takes a hit away from Blyleven, a possible hit away from Blyleven. And that is the 2nd out. So that just goes as a fly out to center. Top of the order, here is Moreno. Moreno is 1 for 2. 2 outs. Let's see what Palmer's got for this matchup. Palmer, a 4-6, and that is a blank, so we go to the hitter card. Matt, I would never change. I can't stand the Yankees as much as you do, okay? But you know what? No. I'm real. The way that World Series turned out, I'm actually not surprised. I'm actually not surprised that the Yankees actually turned out that World Series. Moreno will go ahead and get a swing, 5-3. And Moreno is going now Moreno has a split chance on his card. Against a left-handed pitcher, this is a D7. This would be a double to left field. But against a right-handed pitcher, Moreno gets an F7. This would be a fly out to left field. So he flies out to left. And that is going to retire the side on a 1-2-3 inning for Moreno. None of us are surprised. We knew it was rigged. 1-2-3 go the Pirates. It's still 2-1 in favor of the O's. As a Steeler fan here says, the Yankees winning the World Series was rigged. And of course, remember, my mom is a Yankee fan, so she was on cloud 9 when the Yankees won my 81 World Series. Sports Time Machine, Utah Mike joins us here at Three Rivers Stadium for this demonstration game. We go to the top of the 6th. Blyleven can pitch to 28 batters before tiring, and he's still got about 9 batters left before he does fatigue, but I might be taking him out soon anyway. Palmer has 29 of them. I always put on my score sheet when the pitcher does get fatigued so I can keep track of it. Check out Sports Time Machine's awesome channel, by the way. Utah Mike, who does Stratomatic, a very excellent Stratomatic player, also does payoff pitch, also does NFL Challenge football. Please check out his channel. Sports Time Machine is again, Utah Mike again is one of the best in our hobby. Rich Dower will lead off for the O's. He is 1 for 2. He got a single. Blyleven will stay out there. A 4-5, and he has a split chance. Against a left-handed batter, it is a blank. Dower is a right-handed batter. So against a right-handed batter, it's an S1. It is a mistake made by Blyleven, and Dower just gets a base hit right back through the box. It is a single for Dower, and he gets his second hit of the game. He's got 2 singles. So Dower goes to first, and that will bring up Singleton. Singleton is 0 for 2. Will go to double play death for the Pirates. Dower, the only way he can get a chance is on a hit and run, and that is a +1. So a hit and run, and Singleton, however, though, against righties is a 14. It would be a 1 or a 2 for Dower to get hit and run chance, although with a stolen base result of 0, I really wouldn't send him, but I'll roll anyway. And that is a 1. He actually does get a hit and run opportunity with it. And because Blyleven also has pickoff, that is a 1. He does get a hit and run opportunity. But with Singleton striking out a lot, this is where I go ahead and say I would call this off. The hit and run did come up. I would normally call this off as I use it as an optional decision. So I normally would call this off. Singleton is a 295 hitter. He also belts home runs. I would not cut his home run rating in half. You're ahead. You let Singleton bat here, so I will call off the hit and run, and it will be normal. SDG Replays joins us here at Three River Stadium. Please check out his amazing channel as well. So Blyleven will make a pitch. It's a 2-5, and here we have the K and the W in parentheses. If the pitcher is tired, has reached his fatigue batters, this would be a walk chance. Instead, since he's not, it's a K. So this is a strikeout chance on Singleton. Against a righty, Singleton has a 14, +1 is a 15 from Three Rivers Stadium. That is an 8. Singleton does strike out, and that's the reason why we don't do a hit and run here, because Dower probably would have been a dead duck. So it is a strikeout for Blyleven, and that is his 3rd, and we have 1 out in the inning. Next up is Murray. Murray is 0 for 1. Infield, still a double play depth. Still roll to see if anything happened. That is a 19. Eddie Murray not doing anything with a bunt chance, and there was only a 20 is a chance for a pickoff, so nothing happening on the 19. So Blyleven will pitch. It is a 3-2. That is a blank. We will now go to Eddie Murray's card. Eddie Murray says 3-6, and that is a double star 2. So now we check Blyleven's card. It's a G6. So it's a ground ball to short. This is a double play chance. Now you're going to see a double play in action. We haven't done that yet. For a double play chance, we check the batter's card, double play rating, GDP, which is a 3. Bert Blyleven's GDP rating is a 0, so it doesn't hinder or help double plays. But then you check to see the infield positioning, and the infield double play rating is at double play. So it adds 1 to the double play chance, which is a 4. Okay? So we know here that it is a ground ball to short. Now you check the pivot rating. The pivot it's a ground ball to short. That means that the second baseman for the Pirates is going to get a chance to pivot. Garner is the second baseman, and his pivot rating is a 0. So he doesn't add anything to the double play chance. So that means that a 1 to 4, it would be a double play. A 5 comes up. It is not a double play. It will be a fielder's choice, and Dower with a base running rating of 2 will be thrown out at second. If it's a 6, the play was only made to first, and Dower goes to second. It is a 6. That's exactly what comes up. So it was a slow rolling grounder to short. Dower was already too close to second for a double play chance to be made. So Foley goes ahead, decides to get the out at first. There are 2 outs, and Murray is thrown out at first base. A 66% chance, and you still couldn't turn it. And a 6 is not great because that puts a runner in scoring position. So Dower is now at second base. But there are now 2 outs. And now we'll have DeCinces come up. DeCinces is 1 for 2. And there are now 2 outs. Here in this case, I'm only checking to see if there is a pickoff chance. That is a 1. There is not, and Dower's not going anywhere. So now Blyleven will concentrate on DeCinces. Blyleven is a 1-5. Again, an ET question mark, an error on a throw. So now we roll on DeCinces' card to see what it is. It is a 2-1, and 2-1 says P6. This is a pop-up to short. It's a pop-out. So getting under it is going to be Foley. He'll make the catch. There's no error because it's a pop-out, and that will end the inning. So no runs, a hit for the Orioles. They strand Dower on at second. Still 2-1 as we now go to the bottom of the 6th. Palmer has only given up 1 run on 3 hits. The only mistake was the home run by Cobra. So he's going to stay out there as we go to the bottom of the 6th inning. Tim Foley leads off for the Pirates. Foley is 0 for 2. Palmer will go ahead and make the pitch. 2-3. 2-3 is a blank on his card. We'll go to Foley's card. Foley is also a 2-3, and that is a G4. And that is going to be a ground out to Dower at second base. And he will get him out at first. Here comes Cobra. Parker is 1 for 1, home run and a walk. The one thing a lot of people say about inside pitch, you got to roll the dice. You're probably rolling the dice mostly twice, where like in Stratomatic or APA or Fall Classic Baseball, you're probably only rolling the dice once, okay? For a payoff pitch, you're usually only rolling the dice once because the payoff pitch fast action cards can decide about base running. But either way, I just think that inside pitch is the most exciting. Shrek joins us here at Three Rivers Stadium. Yes, the 79 World Series, and no, not the best place to watch a game. Three Rivers Stadium, Veteran Stadium, Riverfront Stadium, all cookie cutters. All cookie cutters. But in my opinion, I think maybe Riverfront may have been the best of the 3. May have been the best of the 3. Three Rivers wasn't that great, and the Vet was just a terrible place for baseball. Nothing like playing on turf-covered concrete. So Palmer will go ahead and make the pitch. 3-4. And now Palmer gets a home run with a question mark. This means this is a home run chance. A home run chance. So now you go ahead and you check the pitcher's HR question mark section, which is over here. Parker is a lefty, and he needs a 1-16 against left-handed batters. Palmer may have made a mistake. It is 11. He did make a mistake. He threw a meatball right across the plate. Now you go to Parker's. This is not an automatic home run result. The batter still has to get the home run. Parker against the righty needs a 15. He already has one home run by Three River Stadium. Does he hit another one? Kaboom! High, deep, and that is a one that is way out of here. Parker hit that one in the upper deck. Gone. This game is tied. Stadium cheers. Yay! Dave Parker hits his second home run of the ball game. This time that was a meatball. Parker put the ricotta cheese, the tomato sauce, and some sausage in it too. He turned that into lasagna, and that is a goner. Tied at 2. Cobra strikes again. He has both the Pirate homers in this game. Parker definitely looking at player of the game honors here for the Bucks. Tied at 2. As far as the Super Bowl goes, I don't care who wins it. If the Rams win it, that's fine. They've not won a Super Bowl since the 90s. And Matthew Stafford, all those years with loser Detroit, he finally gets a championship with the Rams. Congratulations. If the Bengals win the Super Bowl, they've never won it before. I have no problem with the Bengals winning it. It would be their first title. Congratulations to Joe Burrow, who really is a stud. Dolphins should have tanked for him a lot harder. So now it's tied at 2, and here comes Pops. Pops is 0 for 2. Pops is 0 for 2, so now Palmer will now pitch to Stargell. Palmer will go ahead and pitch at the 2-4, and this is going to be a double star, which is an automatic out. So we go straight to the chart, to the star line chart. It is a 6, and Stargell gets some of it, but not all of it, and it's just going to be a fly out to center. And that is the second out. And now here comes Robinson. Robinson is 0 for 2. So Palmer will go ahead and pitch to Robinson here. It is a 1-4, an ET question mark error on a throw. We go to Robinson's card. Robinson is 4-4, and that is an L6, and that's just a line out to the shortstop. There's no error, and that will retire the side. That is the third out. 1 run on 1 hit, another home run by Cobra, and we are tied at 2 after 6 as Parker has belted both bombs for the Pirates in this game. As ID Jester joins us here at Three River Stadium. Check out his amazing, spectacular channel. If our Red Sox fan was the guy that got me into doing this thing as a whole, it was ID Jester and Baseball Demos who pretty much turned me on to Inside Pitch. Also, ID Jester turned me on to Payoff Pitch as well. So let's go to the top of the 7th here, tied at 2 between the Orioles and the Pirates in this demo game at Three Rivers Stadium. Gary Renicky will lead off for the O's, and he is 0 for 2. Blyleven will go ahead and make a pitch. Still has some batters left in him. That is a 5-2, and that is a W+. That's a walk plus. Renicky against righties is a 17. -1 is a 16, but it's a walk plus. So you add 10, and that's going to be an automatic walk because that's going to make him a 26. And of course, you already know the D20 can't go any higher than that. So he gives up a walk to Renicky, and Renicky will trot to first. Next batter will be Garcia. Garcia 1 for 2 with a single. Infield will go to double play depth. Renicky has a steal attempt of 1. Blyleven +1 is a 2. Okay. Kiko Garcia against righties is a 14, +1 is a 15 for a hit and run. So a 1 or a 2 would be a steal attempt. A 3 would be a hit and run attempt. And that is a 2. Gary Renicky actually does get the jump, but his stolen base rating is a 5, plus 1 is a 6. Ed Ott has a +1 arm, so a 7. I'm not going to do a steal. I will call that off and let Garcia swing. Blyleven will go ahead and make the pitch. As I said, the strategy roll is optional. I'd use it though to generate a strategy to see if I want to follow it or not. You do not have to use it if you don't want to. If you want to call a steal, go ahead and call the steal and roll the D20. But I always feel that if you're going to call a steal, you should roll to see if he gets the jump. Anyway, because if he doesn't get the jump, he shouldn't steal. 6-5 for Blyleven, and against we got a split decision here. Blyleven, a split chance. Against a left-handed batter, it would be a walk plus. Against a right-handed batter, since Garcia is a righty, that is a blank. So Garcia gets the swing. It is a 2-1, and that is a double star 1. So it's a star line 1. We go to Blyleven, and that is a G4. So that is a ground ball to second base. We have a possible double play. Garcia's double play rating is a 4. Blyleven is a 0. The infield position double play rating is a 5. It's a ground ball to second. The shortstop will be the pivot man for the Pirates, and that is Foley. Foley has a pivot rating of +1, so that is a 6. A 6, since the double play ratings since a 6, no matter what, is an automatic runner advance. Normally, that would be, you would probably think that would be an automatic double play. But according to the rules, okay, on the rules here, all rolls of 6 are auto advance, play at first only on all grounders. It does not matter with that. So, still, you still have to roll. So a 1 to 5 will be a double play. It's a 4, and it's a double play. So it's a 4-6-3 double play, and we've got 2 outs. A 6 would have moved Renicky to second base. So 2 outs, and here comes Dempsey. Dempsey is 0 for 2. Blyleven will go ahead and make the pitch, and it's a 1-6. And a 1-6 comes up a K, strikeout chance. Against the right-handed pitcher, Dempsey is a 7, +1 is an 8. That's a 3, and he got him. Blyleven strikes out Dempsey to retire the side. That is the 4th strikeout for Blyleven. And that will end the inning. So that retires the side, and we're at the 7th inning stretch. So, Singh, take me out to the ball game. I will be right back. The dice were trying to tell you something. I know, but as I said, I make it optional. So I want to show the gamers the optional version of it, or to go ahead hard and fast. I'll be right back. RJL Network proudly presents Inside Pitch, the 1979 season. We are 1 week from being on the air. Valentine's Day will be opening day. It will be the San Francisco Giants taking on the Cincinnati Reds. Vida Blue goes for the Giants, and terrific Tom Seaver goes for the Reds. We have opening day, the return of 10-minute ticker, FastScore Baseball, all coming back. In 1 week, the 1979 season will be on the air. We go to the bottom half of the 7th inning here in this demonstration game. Jim Palmer is due to lead off the top of the 8th inning, and he has 29 batters he can face, and he still has 6 batters left. They're going to let Palmer continue to pitch here. So he's going to pitch. So this will probably be his last inning. Bill Madlock will lead off for the Pirates, and he is 0 for 2. Palmer will go ahead and make the pitch. A 1-2. Yeah, I know. He hasn't posted in a while there, Dan Douglas. I know. I haven't heard from him lately. I'm hoping everything is okay. I haven't heard much. 1-2. That is a strikeout chance, okay? Madlock against a righty is a 4. +1 is a 5. He didn't strike out much. That is a 6. He will not strike out there. So Madlock will go ahead and get to swing the bat. 4-6, and that is a double star 5, and that's going to be a ground out to short. Here is Ott. Ott is 1 for 2. He has a single in the game. Yeah, I haven't heard anything from Dave lately. From Dave. I mean, somebody baseball demos. I know he's in. Somebody should ring his bell or something like that. Palmer, a 1-6, and that is. Remember though, he's up there, so maybe he could. Maybe the Storms or something like that. 1-6 for Palmer. That is an E question mark. That is a possible error. As a possible regular error. So now we go to Ott's card. Ott says a 3-4, and a 3-4 is a G6. So this is a ground ball to short. So it's got to be a chance made by the shortstop for Baltimore, and that is Garcia. Kiko Garcia at short has an error rating of 12. This is his has an error rating of 12. That is a 5. That's going to be an error on Kiko Garcia. So it's a ground ball to short, but at 12, the 5 is lower than the 12. Garcia is going to make an error. It is a G5 error. So I'll bring up the chat. I'll bring up here on a regular error chance. On a ground ball, on a grounder. And it says number 1, boots ball, grounder booted, all runners advance 1 base only. So pretty much he boots the ball, or it probably went through his legs or the wicket. So Ott's going to find himself on first base, and that is going to be an E6. So that's the first error on the Orioles in this game. And Ott will get there to first on an E6. So now Palmer has to try to shake off the error. So here comes Phil Garner. Garner is 0 for 2. Infield is at double play depth. Ott really not a threat to do anything. We still roll anyway. That is an 18. And Garner is not going to do anything. He will hit away. Palmer will go ahead and get the swing. Will get the pitch. It is a 2-6. RP at sign, range play at the park. So we know a range play at the park has to be made. We now go to Three Rivers Stadium on the card here. And we re-roll. And that is a 1-3. And a 1-3 is a G4. So it's a ground ball to second base, but it is a range play. The infield is at double play depth. So it's a ground ball to second. The second baseman for the Orioles is Rich Dower. His range is a 4. But with the infield at double play depth, his range becomes a 3. So now we got to roll a D6 to see if he makes the range play. A 1-3, he makes it. A 4-6, it gets by him. It is a 1. He makes the play. So he makes the play, makes the play on the grounder. Now let's see if a double play is made. Phil Garner has a GDP of 1. Palmer has a -1. It's a 0. But the infield with double play depth still makes it a +1. The play is made by Dower. Garcia is the shortstop. And Garcia, okay, has a +1 pivot arm. So actually it's a 2. So a 1 or a 2, they still turn the double play. It is a 3, they do not. So now we see now we got to find out who's out. Ed Ott's base running rating is a 3, But when the infield is a double play depth, the runner on first base running rating is brought down to a 2. It simulates him being held on. Okay, so since the roll is a 3 and it's higher than the 2, the 3 is higher than a 2. Ed Ott, the throw goes to second to get Ott. Garner will take over at first, and there are 2 outs. And that is a fielder's choice. So 2 outs, and the next batter for the Pirates is supposed to be Bert Blyleven, but we're not going to let him bat. We're going to take him out. So Blyleven is going to leave the game, and the Pirates will bring on a pinch hitter. My rules are usually before the 9th inning has to be the most at bats against the handedness of the pitcher. In this case, that's going to be John Milner. He's going to come on and pinch it for the Pirates. So here comes John Milner, 276 average, 16 homers, 60 RBIs. Pretty good year for him, although he did play in 128 games. Not a bad year for John Milner for the Pirates in 79. So he will pinch hit. So we'll have a new pitcher for the Pirates. So Garner's still on at first. Let's see if there's anything on strategy roll. That is an 11. The answer is no. Nothing will happen there. So Palmer will pitch to Milner. Palmer, a 3-4. That is a home run, question mark. Milner is a lefty. A 1-16 is a mistake. The 9 is good. So, and the bad news is that is really good because Milner against righties is a 20. He's a 20 against right-handed pitchers. He hit 16 homers that year. That is a 20. That is a 9. It doesn't matter. We don't have to re-roll. John Milner comes off the bench and kaboom! High, deep, and gone. John Milner pinch hit home run off of Jim Palmer, and the Pirates take the lead. Stadium cheers. Yay! A 2 RBI pinch hit home run by John Milner puts the Pirates ahead 4-2. That is the 3rd home run given up by Palmer in this game. A pinch hit homer by Milner. Wow, how about that? A little 7th inning magic there. And the Pirates now take a 4-2 lead. And the next batter is Moreno. They're going to let Palmer stay out there, though. They want him to see if he can get through the inning, but he gives up a pinch hit home run to John Milner. Clear the deck. Cannonball coming. Palmer will make the pitch here. And it is a 3-2. And that is a strikeout chance. Moreno against righties is a 10. +1 is an 11. That 15 is too high. So Moreno will go ahead and get a chance to swing. 3-5. And that is a G1. And that's just going to be a ground ball back to Palmer. And he will throw to first to get the out and retire the side. 2 runs on 1 hit and 1 error. And after 7, the Pirates are now taking a 4-2 lead. 3 home runs in the game, 1 by Milner and 2 by Parker. We go to the top of the 8th inning. And let's see. The Pirates need a pitcher. And let's see if they're going to bring out the pitch here. Usually 7th inning and earlier, I like to bring out 8th inning or earlier, I like to bring out pitchers with the most relief appearances. And let's see what we're going to go on here. But they had a lot of pitchers. And the Pirates are going to go ahead and bring out their workhorse that year. The Pirates had 2 pitchers that pitched pretty much half the season. Coming on to pitch for the Pirates is going to be Kent Tekulve. Kent Tekulve will come on to pitch for the Pirates. He had 94 appearances that year in 79, so we'll see a lot of him. 10 wins, 8 losses, 31 saves, a 2.75 ERA. They're going to bring out Tekulve now. Why not? It's an exhibition game. So Tekulve will come out and he will pitch. He can pitch to 6 batters before tiring. Jim Palmer due to lead off. He will not bat. As the Baltimore Orioles will go to a new batter. And coming on to pinch hit for the Orioles is going to be a lefty, and it will be John Lowenstein. John Lowenstein will pinch hit, a 254 average, 11 homers, and 34 RBIs for the O's. He will pinch it for Palmer, and that will pretty much take care of Jim Palmer for the game. And I can put my pitcher hitting card away because I will no longer be needing it until the 79 World Series. So Lowenstein will pinch it. Tekulve will now be the pitcher. Let's see what we get. Tekulve a 1-1, and he has a split chance. Against a right-handed batter, it's a strikeout chance. Against a left-handed batter, it is a blank. Lowenstein is a lefty, so that becomes a blank. Lowenstein, a 4-1, and that is a double star 3, and that is going to be a ground out to first by Tekulve. So 1 man out, and here comes Bunbury. Bunbury is 1 for 3. Tekulve will go ahead and make the pitch. It is a 1-4. ET ? Error on a throw. Bunbury does get his chance to swing, and that is a 1-4, and that is an S6. Now we have an S6. S1, now an error on a throw, and it's what this is. It's an error on a throw. This is an automatic infield single. Question is, does the fielder try to get Bunbury out and make an error? Is it S6? So let's show you the chart. On an error on a throw, it is grounder to short, number 6. Throwing error with potential for advancing another base on bad throw. Go through steps. S6. Number 9. Infield single / throw. Infield single with 1 extra base advancement on bad throw. Otherwise, everyone only gets 1 base total. It is an infield single. It's an S6, not a G6. So Bunbury hit an S6. The ball was hit to short, and that is Foley. Foley's error rating is a 6. That is a 10. Foley decides not to throw the ball, so it's going to be an infield single, and Bunbury will be safe at first. I always figure that it's a slow rolling grounder, and it's a slow rolling grounder, and there's not going to be, there's not going to be a shot there on that. Okay. Now, if it was an E or an EG and an S comes up, there's no error. It's a throw to first with a chance to get the runner out. We'll see if that happens later in the game. So Bunbury's on first. The infield will go to double play depth, and here comes Dower. Dower having a good day today. He's actually 2 for 3. Bunbury, a very good steal has a good chance. He had 37 stolen bases in 79. Tekulve and Bunbury has a 6. Tekulve has a 0. So a 1-6, Bunbury gets the jump, and he got the jump, and we're going to do it because we got to show the demo. So he got the jump. Bunbury is a 15, plus 3 is 18. Tekulve not very good at getting us at preventing stolen bases. Ed Ott is the catcher, and he has a +1 arm. So the only way Bunbury is out is on a 20. It is a 2. That means a possible error. A 1 or a 2 is a possible error. Stolen, a 1 or a 2, runner safe. Check catcher for throwing error, 1 base. So let's see if there's an error now. Ed Ott's error rating is a 4. So you re-roll the die. If it's a 1 or a 4, Bunbury's going to wind up on third. It is a 20. He does not. So Bunbury does get the stolen base. There's no error. But now the Orioles have a runner in scoring position. Stolen base for Bunbury, that's his first, and that is the second stolen base in the game for either team. So now you re-roll the strategy roll again. Bunbury, a chance for him to get to third, a jump to get to third. He needs a 3 or lower. That is a 20. Ticovey now gets a chance. That's a pickoff chance. Ticovey turns around and fires to second. A 1 to 4, that's a pickoff. A 5, 6, or 7, there's a pickoff error. Bunbury will make it to third. 8 or higher, nothing happens. It is an 11. Bunbury got back. So Ticovey fired to second, but Bunbury got back. So there you got, now, so there in this one, you got to see a pickoff demonstration. So now Ticovey will now pitch to Dower. Ticovey, a 3-1. That's a K, strikeout chance. Dower against right-handed pitchers is a 5, plus 1 is a 6. That is a 10, no strikeout. Dower goes ahead and swings, 2-4, and that's going to be a ground ball to third. A grounder to third, that's going to get picked up by Madlock. He'll throw to first. On a ground ball to third, on a runner on second base, runner advances on ball hit to third base on 6 roll only. So now you got to roll to see if it was a slow rolling grounder and Bunbury can get to third base. On a 6, Bunbury goes to third. It is a 2. Nope. Bunbury stayed at second base, but Dower was thrown out at first base for the second out. You had a walk-off game ended on a steal to third and a catcher throwing error once. Hey, remember I had a balk off. Remember I had a game that ended on a balk. You know, we had that a couple of times, you know, so anything is possible here in a game of inside pitch. So Dower grounds out to third. There are now 2 outs. And here comes Singleton. Singleton with 2 outs. Singleton is 0 for 3. He's yet to get a hit. You kind of think he's due, right? We'll roll again to see if anything happening on base. That is a 6. No. Because Bunbury needed a 3 or lower to try to get the jump to third. He'll stay at second base. Ticovey will make the pitch. It's a 1-6. That's an @ sign, so it's at the park. We now go to Three River Stadium to see what Singleton does. Three River Stadium, 5-4. And that is going to be a G6. That's a ground ball to short. Hit to Foley. Foley's got it. Throws to first. Side retired. So no runs. There was a hit, a stolen base, but the Orioles are kept in check. And we go to the bottom of the 8th. It is still 4-2 in favor of the Bucks. Leading off for the Pirates in the bottom of the 8th will be Tim Foley. They have a right and 2 lefties coming up. Let's see who Baltimore wants to bring on to pitch. And let's see. Coming on to pitch for the O's is going to be Tippy Martinez. The one thing I love about these inside pitch cards, they feel so good in my hands, brand new. But after, you know, because they haven't been used yet. But after the season is done, they all feel kind of like they've been used. So here's Tippy Martinez, the pitch for the Orioles. 10 wins, 3 losses, 3 saves, a 2.88 ERA. Good season for him in 79. Had 61 Ks. So Martinez will come on and pitch now. And he can pitch to 8 batters before tiring. Tim Foley will lead off here at the bottom of the 8th inning. Martinez will make the pitch, and that is a 6-4. And 6-4 on Martinez is a blank. We now go to Foley's card. Foley, a 3-5. That's a G6, and that is a ground out to short. Remember, the way I play my games, I go right through them. So, you know, we won't be doing much. I will give certain calculations. Not that many hits in this game. Most of the hits really have been in through the infield. We haven't had much outfield looks check so far. Here comes Parker. Parker is 2 for 2 today. Both of them bombs. He had 2 home runs today and he walked. So Tippy Martinez has got to be careful. Martinez has never allowed has got zeros for home runs. So he didn't allow a home run in 79. Martinez, a 3-6. That's at the park. But it doesn't mean he can't It doesn't mean he can't allow one because Three River Stadium could give Parker a chance. That's at the park. Three River Stadium already gave Dave Parker one home run. Does he give him another? 6-4. No, it is a blank. On a blank on a ballpark card, we have a rare play. So now you bring up the rare play chart. The rare play chart has two different sides. Rare plays bases empty and rare plays men on. If play does not apply, re-roll on chart. My rule is if the rare play does not apply, I re-roll the entire at-bat. I will not re-roll on the chart. I re-roll the entire at-bat if it does not apply. So we go rare plays, bases empty, and I roll all the dice, and we have a 4 and a 4, 44. Ball in the dirt, gets past the catcher's pads, re-pitch, check for injury to catcher. Ooh, okay. Ball in the dirt, gets past the catcher's pads, re-pitch, check for injury to catcher. All right, let's see if it hurts. So we know it's a re-pitch, but we got to see it got past the catcher, and that's Dempsey. Dempsey's injury rating is a 3. So we're going to roll to see if he got hurt. 78 innings, no home run allowed is impressive. Highlight heyday coming here as well at Three River Stadium. So Rich Dempsey has an injury rating of 3. We will roll on this chart, but we already know he's going to be out for the game. So that's a 4, and it says game plus 1d20. So if you were not playing as played lineups, he would be out for 1. He would be out for 2 games. If you were playing a season, but we're not playing it as played, Rick Dempsey would be out for a couple of games. In this case, we're just going to take him out. He is out for the game. So Rick Dempsey is hurt. Since he was injured, he will be out, and we will bring in a new catcher. I am not using 25-man roster since this is just an exhibition game. We're going to bring in Dave Skaggs. 137 at bats. He'll just take over at catcher for the rest of the game. So Dave Skaggs, not as good as catcher as Dempsey was. So timeout. Well, I'll go ahead and change it here. So Dave Skaggs will take over at catcher for the Orioles. And they'll get to re-pitch. So Dave Parker again gets a chance. D. Scott Howard joins us here at Three Rivers Stadium for this demonstration game. So Parker gets the swing again. So Martinez gets the pitch. That's a 1-2. It is a wild pitch, and that's going to be ball 2. Martinez again, 2-1. Wild pitch, ball 3. I've never had 4 wild pitches in a row. 5-1. Nope, doesn't happen this time. 5-1 is a K and a parentheses in W. This is, of course, if Martinez is tired. He is not, so that now becomes a K, and that's a strikeout chance. Parker against lefties is a 10, plus 1 is 11. That's a 3, and Parker will go down on strikes. Martinez strikes him out for 2 down. Here comes Pops. Stargell is 0 for 3. Stargell is 0 for 3. He gets the swing here. So Martinez, see what he's got. 6-6. That's a range play at the park. Always dangerous when you go to the park when Stargell at play. So now once again, we go to Three Rivers Stadium. Three Rivers Stadium says 5-4, and that's going to be a G6. That's a ground ball to short. Garcia will take it. He will throw to first and retire the side. Not a good day for Stargell. He's 0 for 4 and a 1-2-3 inning on the Pirates. After 8, it is still 4-2 in favor of the Bucks. Even though it's an exhibition game, will we see some 9th inning magic? Top of the 9th. Pirates lead 4-2. Kent Tekulve will stay out there. He will pitch. He can pitch to 2 more batters before tiring. Eddie Murray leads off for the O's, and he is 0 for 3. He's not done anything in this game today. So we're about to be in the final inning of this demonstration game. Remember, the 79 season starts on next Monday with the Giants and the Reds. Tovey with the pitch, 5-1. That is a walk chance. Against a righty, Murray has a 10, -1 is a 9. That's a 4, and Tovey is going to walk the leadoff batter. What? Did you expect a 1-2-3 closing inning even in a demonstration game on RJL Network? I think not. So he walks Murray, and that will bring up Doug DeCinces. No, we will not have an 18-inning game, BB. I pretty much decided we may play an extra inning or two, but this is a demonstration game. I'm hoping I really don't have to go to extras. So Murray on it first. The infield will go to double play depth. And let's see. Now we got the strategy rolls. If the strategy roll is if the difference between the score is higher than how many innings are left in the game, strategy rolls are off. So in this case, you got a 2-run lead here by the Pirates. You're in the 9th inning. This is the last inning, which is 1. So okay, it's a 1. So in that case, since the 2 is higher than the 1, there is no strategy rolls, as you're not thinking about stealing, hitting runs, or anything like that. But as I said, if you want Eddie Murray to try to steal, he does have a 17 stolen base rating here. He would probably do it, but I would still think if you are going to try to steal, I still think you should try to roll to see if you get the jump. But strategy rolls will be off. So Tovey will pitch. It is a 5-2. And that is a K in parentheses W. Tovey will be tired after DeCinces. He is not tired here. So that's a strikeout chance. Against a righty, DeCinces is an 11. +1 is a 12. That's a 19. It's too high. DeCinces does get to swing. 3-2. And it's just going to be a fly ball to left field. And Robinson will get to it for the out. 1 down, the batter will be Gary Renicky. Tovey is tired. I usually put a yellow pawn on the card to denote that he is tired. So you guys know he is, and I know he is. So now the rolls in parentheses now take effect. So now this would be a single, this would be a walk, and that would be the same result here, but this would take Tovey out of the game. I'm going to let Tovey stay in there. Here's Renicky. Renicky is 0 for 2. He walked his last time up. And there is 1 out here in the top of the 9th. Well, no strategy rolls, so Tovey will pitch. It's a 6-1. That is a range play. So now Renicky gets a chance to swing. It's a 6-6. That's a fly. That's an F9. It's a fly ball to right field. That ball is hit to Parker. It's a range play for Parker. Parker's range is a 3. So a 1-3, Parker will make the catch. A 4, 5, or 6, it could be a single or a double. It is a 4. It's going to drop in. A 1, then you roll the D20, the D6 again. A 1, 2, 3, 4, it's a single. A 5 or 6, it's a double. It's a double by Gary Renicky. He will get a double. How about that? A double for Renicky. And now we finally get to see runner advancement on balls hit to the outfield. This is where people get confused. Do it one step at a time. It's not as hard as you think. So this is a double to right field. Eddie Murray's base running rating is a 3. You check the runner advance mod. On a D9, double to right, first to home, -1 is a 2. It's -1. So now his base running rating is a 2. You check the ball at right field, and that the arm at right field. Dave Parker has a -1 as a -1 for an arm. So the only way Murray will score from first is on a 1. A 2, 3, 4, 5, he holds at third. A 6, there is a possible out. It is a 2. So Murray will hold at third base, but Renicky is safe at second with a double. So now runners are at second and third. At second and third now and only 1 out. So we got some excitement going on here. As Renicky gets a big double. So now here comes Kiko Garcia. And let's see here. Takovi is going to come out of the game because a single one now will eliminate S1 will automatically tie the game up. So the Pirates are going to go to the bullpen. They will take out Takovi. And let's see who they're going to bring in here. And let's see. Coming on to pitch now for the Pirates is going to be Enrique Romo. 10 wins, 5 losses, 5 saves, a 2.99 ERA. So Romo now comes in to try to finish this game off. The runners at second and third. And the Orioles are going to call, and the next batter is Garcia. The Orioles are going to call the infield in. Murray is not a quick runner. Not really that well. He's a fast runner, but the infield in. They're going to call the infield in. Actually, you know what? No, you got a 2-run lead. You know what? They're going to call the infield back. They're going to play it normally, infield back. The runner at third doesn't mean anything. So here's Garcia. Enrique Romo will now make the pitch. And still no strategy roll. So Romo will make the pitch. And that is a 3-4. That is a blank. Garcia gets to swing. 2-4. And that is going to be a G3. That's a ground ball to first. It's a ground ball to first. The play is going to get made by Stargell. The runners will, because the infield is playing back, the runners will automatically advance. So Murray will come in to score. Renicky goes to third, but Garcia is out at first, and there are 2 outs. It's now 4-3. So the run does come in. Ground ball to first. And now the batter is supposed to be Dave Skaggs. Skaggs took over at catcher for Dempsey. He has a 248 average. And let me see if I want to make a change here. Let's see. Do I have another catcher as a question? No, I don't think I do. No, Skaggs is the only catcher left. I don't have any more. The Orioles do not have any more catchers on the bench, which means it's up to Skaggs. So this is Dave Skaggs. Skaggs a 248 average. He has a homer and 14 RBIs. He came in for the injured Rick Dempsey. But now the infield is back. It's now 4-3. Romo trying to get the final out. So let's see what happens. So Romo will pitch to Skaggs. And strategy rolls. Strategy rolls are actually on. And Romo actually has a balk signal. I actually got to roll back because now it's once again a 1-run difference. But there's no pickoff chance, and Renicky's not doing anything. So now Romo will now pitch. Romo with the pitch. 1-4 against the righty. That's a K plus, a strikeout plus, which means the strikeout plus 10. Skaggs against the righty is a 7, plus 1 is an 8. But a strikeout plus makes him an 18. Holy cow, that's a 19. He still didn't strike him out. You gotta be kidding me. A strikeout plus. He needed an 18 and 18 or lower, and he gets a 19. You're kidding me. Skaggs actually gets the swing. It's a 2-3, and it's gonna be an automatic out. This game is done. A double star 1. It's a fly ball to left field. Getting over there is going to be Robinson. He takes 2 steps to his right, puts out his glove, blop, and the ball falls into it. That's your game. The Pittsburgh Pirates hold off the Orioles here in this demonstration matchup. A 4-3 win for the Pirates at Three Rivers Stadium. Stadium cheers. Yay! So there was 1 run on 1 hit for the Orioles, but they're going to come up a little short here in this demonstration game against the Pirates. Well, let's give you guys a final line score, shall we? Two. For the Pirates, 4 runs on 5 hits and no errors. For the Orioles, 3 runs on 7 hits and 1 error. The winning pitcher is Bert Blyleven. He actually gets the win. Jim Palmer takes the loss, and it will be Enrique Romo getting the save, and Takovi does get a hold. So that is a win for the Baltimore Orioles in this game. Here. Does anybody have any questions at all before I sign off? Does anybody have any questions before I sign off here? Any questions? Anything you didn't understand or anything you'd like to see? You know, like I said, a lot of people get a little confused because of the base running mechanics. It really is very simple. The base running mechanics is simple. You take the base running rating of the runners, you add or subtract where the ball was hit to on hits to the outfield, on balls hit through the infield, it's automatic. It's already here for you. On balls hit to balls hit to the outfield, on balls hit to the outfield, you just add or subtract your modifications, and then just throw. I don't understand. I will admit I had issues with it first, but now it's now to me it's just second nature. But then again, I play the game I play the game practically every day. Any word on 2001? No clue. He just released the 2021 season and the 1963 season. So he already released 2021 and 1963. I do not know what his next season is up to. Remember, he's got to start working on the 2021 football season for Inside Blitz because he's got to get his other games doing. He's a one-man show. I would love to work with him, and if he gave me the calculations he uses, and I would help him create seasons he doesn't have, but if this is his game, this is his world, we live in it. But no word on 2001. I've already told him that to me personally, I really think he needs to finish up the older seasons first. He's still missing 1957, 1960. He's still missing 1957 and 1960. He's still missing those years. And then after he gets those years done, he'll have seasons all the way from 1956 to 1986. He still needs to do 1987, 1990. People are clamoring for. Now, I would like to see 1997 with the Marlins. He's got to get the other 2000 seasons done. 2001, 2004, where the Red Sox, end it. He's still missing a lot of loved seasons from the 90s and the 2000s. But you got to give him time. He will get to them. I mean, last year, he released 3 seasons, 1983, 2019. And 1966. This year he released 2021 and 1963. I know he'll release a couple more. I told him to pretty much you should release at least 4 seasons a year. 1 season around opening day. 2 seasons around opening day. The current season, and 1 historical season. 1 season around the All-Star break, and 1 season for the World Series. That's what I really tell him if that time to release them. But it's up to him. So right now, I don't have any word on what the next season will be. But so I don't know at the moment what he wants to do next. But he just released 2021 and 1963, and and Sandy Koufax for 1963 is nasty. So I tested out the card in a quick game, and it was he was just dominant. It was just dominant. So don't forget, it will be Valentine's Day, opening day, 1979. The San Francisco Giants against the Cincinnati Reds. Vita Blue versus Tom Seaver. Another exciting inside pitch campaign is coming your way. So don't miss the excitement on Monday night, Valentine's Day, opening day. Be there or be square. BB, Dan Douglas, Highlight Heyday, D. Scott Howard, Steeler fan, I. D. Jester, Tony Porter, C&D TV, Shrek, SDG Replay, Sports Time Machine, G-Puck, JAA, Big Clue, Larry Harris. Thank you, Bill Simone. Thank you all for joining me today. Please leave a like on your way out through the turnstiles. Subscribe if you've not done so. And make sure you hit the bell. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay smart, stay strong. And we'll see you next time. Opening day is next week. And I still got to do some more Marvel Champions this week before we start it. It is the Pittsburgh Pirates beating the Orioles in this demonstration game. 4-3 over the O's here at Three River Stadium. Have a good one, guys. We'll see you next time.